What do we have here, ladies and gentlemen? In the left of the screen, not spawning yet because we haven't jumped into the games, we have Kvoth with a micro of, well, it's out of 11, okay? Don't ask me why I made it out of 11, but it's out of 11 with a 3-11 score in the micro. In the macro, he's got some very, very high level of skills there. 10 out of 11. That's obviously because of that Gaia shenanigans. The strategy there, he's very, very innovative, I must say. So he's almost at the top there with a -2 out of 11, whatever that is, 9 out of 11. Experience, not the most experienced player. He will admit he's only about 6 months-ish or a year into whatever you want to call it, into about his 1v1 experience. Hasn't played that many tournaments. His speed a little bit on the slow side. He plays on a laptop, and he's sometimes he plays in bed versus me and still crushes me. God depth, just a little bit low with only really having access to the Atlantean gods. We'll have to wait and see what he's going to have here. His opponent today, on the other side of the map, with the frog-like Yoshii character. His name is Yoshii. He's got some insanely good micro. He's got some insanely good macro. His strategy is off the charts. It's actually pretty rare for a player to have a full score in a stat here, having full score in strategy. His experience technically is pretty good, but it's mostly in deathmatch, so he's got to knock off a couple of points there. His speed, very, very fast. His god depth is very, very big. He plays a lot of different gods, but looks like the game's ready to get under the way here. We're going to be jumping in on the map. Competitive Mega Random. Let's get into the games. Spawning in the left side of the map in the blue color, playing as Thor. His name is Kvoth. His opponent today in the red color, playing as Set. His name is Yoshii. We've got a fiery one for you today, ladies and gentlemen. This is technically the preliminary round of the tournament. There were too many good players in this tournament to only allow 16, so we had to add a slight extra round. There was no way to separate these guys. All of the players in this tournament have gotten top 8 at the very least in an S-tier tournament before, which effectively makes them in that tournament part of the top players in the game. But we'll see how things are going to go here. Set versus Kvoth's Thor on the map. Competitive Mega Random, but it's looking like a very, very spicy competitive Mega Random. Also seeing Kvoth playing Thor, little bit different. We'll have to wait and see how he goes with that one. We do have a very, very strange map here in the middle of the water. It's only going to be 4 fish apiece here, as we do see Kvoth trying to steal some fish away now. Norse does actually have a slight advantage here. He might be able to get as many as 5 fishing ships out here, taking all of the spots away from his opponent. You can actually see Kvoth going for the early ones first here. Yoshii not scouting here, not using his vision on this lake like he should. Doesn't know exactly how many fishing ships he needs to be producing here, but in effect here, it's only a 4 fishing ship start. So he's going to be up for some very, very difficult times ahead of him on this game if he decides to get a little bit too much in the wood department, as another fishing ship is coming out. Kvoth, on the other hand, here is still making his fishing ship. He's already got the 4 spots on the front, so he's got a huge advantage here. As Yoshii is now moving across the map, he will be able to grab 1 spot here, but he's deciding to not move up there just yet, keeping his fishing ship back for no real reason just yet. Not 100% sure what he should be doing. He's now moving forward, potentially going to be able to get onto that other fishing spot as the last fishing ship is on the way, and Yoshii does manage to see it, as we see a lot of wood in the bank here for Kvoth. He needs to actually take the villagers off of the wood right now, take them over onto food, start making his way to the next age. Same thing here for Yoshii. We actually do see that from both players recognizing what sort of a map is. That's the beauty of competitive Mega Random. Sometimes you get 4 fish spawn, sometimes you get 6 fish spawn, sometimes you get 9 fish spawn, sometimes you get 21 fish spawn. Sometimes, you never know. But a slight advantage here in the early game for Kvoth moving on here. However, Plague of Serpents is going to be able to be very, very big here in this game for Yoshii. So we'll see what his decision is going to be and whether or not he goes for a very, very aggressive classical fight here, as we do see another dock coming up for Kvoth trying to defend his fish. I like that. If he gets a third dock up over here on this location as well, he could potentially grab all 3 fishing spots here and be very, very happy. But we'll see how it's all going to go as Yoshii's got his temple down now. He's got a lot of villagers on the Aurochs. He won't have had himself husbandry hunting dogs just yet, and he's actually going to find himself housed here, so he might have to delete that hyena there if he or potentially delete the fishing ship that's in his dock as an option, but he will be able to advance here a little bit after the 4:30 mark as he still hasn't realized his house. Villagers going to be dumping those resources in, and an advance time through Anubis here at 4:45 minutes into the game. Kvoth now going up through Freya. He has managed to get there first. However, his villagers currently, or his dwarves I should say, already onto the medium gold mine here. He's got the ox cart queued up, decided not to build that in favor of keeping his gold mine alive, I guess, for a little bit longer. A bit strange, but the ox cart comes out, the house comes down. We do see a dock coming down on this location, which I actually love here from Yoshii, but it might be just a little bit too slow. I genuinely, in this situation, I don't know what the best thing to do here is. Obviously, you don't want your opponent to have access to all of this fish, and you have access to none. However, you equally don't want to be going heavy on the water in this game either, because it's really not worth that much. At most, it's 8 villages, which you can definitely recoup incredibly easily by just getting a second town center, for example. So we'll see what direction these guys are going. You can actually see Yoshii here. He's got 10 villages on food, 5 on gold. This is indicating a very, very heavy classical fight on the water. He's already queued up 1 cabinet. We've already got the cabinet, or longboats, I should say, coming out here for Yoshii as that second dock does come up. This fishing ship should be brought back in, jump into that dock, and have a little bit of archer fire coming for himself here. But it's 2 docks apiece here as Yoshii pulls his other fishing ship back. He might want to throw down another dock with that fishing ship as a potential here, as sitting under these docks and defending here is not going to be all too difficult, as we do see the Valkyries coming in. But now Kvoth, he's got 4 longboats out already, a handful more cabinets coming forward here, and we might actually have to see a defensive Plague of Serpents coming through as Kvoth microwaving his longboats back really, really nicely here. He's taken out all of Yoshii's ships here beautifully as the Plague of Serpents comes down in the middle of the map. That's going to be forcing all the longboats back here. Kvoth retreating back. There is a villager over here that could potentially get sniped by those longboats. Got to be a little bit careful there, as we do see the forest fire coming down, and he also picks off 2 villages with that forest fire. That's absolutely gigantic here in this game, as the Plague of Serpents going to be gnawing away at all of those longboats here. A couple more going to be falling. Yoshii trying to push in, trying to get a little bit of an advantage here, trying to push off the fishing ships of Kvoth. This villager over here will be having to be pulled back. He could send a fishing ship forward to try and finish that off, and that's exactly what he's going to be doing, as the cabinet's trying to sit underneath this dock, trying to put as much pressure onto Kvoth as he possibly can, and it does look like he may be finding himself an advantage here in this location. But again, there's plenty of hunt on this map. Town centers, you can see this town center's got elk on it. This town center over here, it's got an auroch close to it, so you can grab those town centers and have a very, very easy time to start the villager production before you might need to start getting farms or something like that. If we move over here and check out Kvoth's perspective here, he's stopped production of ships, plenty of wood in the bank. He's pulling off all those villagers off of wood, coming over onto his gold, trying to get up to potentially a second town center, or simply just going all in on the land. We'll see what he's going to choose to do, as the Anubite does decide now to come in and start taking some dwarves down. Yoshii, on the other hand, he's also stopped his ships here. But what's the play? Do you go barracks here? Do you go for a town center immediately? This town center is incredibly good. It's got a back gold mine. He's got all of this hunt under this location, as the cabinet's going to, as the Anubite is going to continue to attack these dwarves and find an advantage where that's concerned, as the Kvoth Hursa coming in onto this position, going to be pushing back as best as he possibly can. If we take a good look at what Kvoth is now doing, he's going for this town center. He's got a gold mine over here. Love that play. He's going to be having a really, really fun time with where that's concerned, as the fishing ship now starting to come out for Yoshii. Does he have all the fishing ship out just yet? Not just yet. I think 8 fishing ship. There they are. 8 fishing ship plus per scene. Good idea, though. I do think he should consider going in on probably actually moving forward and harassing. This wouldn't go straight either, as we do see a barracks getting thrown down here. But Yoshii could very easily, has he got himself pickaxe yet? He could get pickaxe. He could get per scene. He could also, or Sultan 4 no, per scene. But the other thing he could do is just simply not get any of that, not throw this barracks down, just grab town centers and be in a really good position. But he's going to go for a very interesting try here as his cabinet's getting taken down. You kind of don't want to lose these here, I don't think, because that's going to allow Kvoth to get some raids in onto this location. But we'll see how things are going to go. Yoshii, Kvoth on the other hand, I should say, I'm so used to seeing Yoshii as the Norse player that I can't turn around. But that's the beauty of this tournament. You cannot play the same god twice in this series, in this entire tournament. So we're going to be seeing a lot of different games here as the units moving through. Are they going to be able to catch out this town center as the villagers moving forward to start shaking that down? And Kvoth has to retreat back. This is absolutely huge for Yoshii to keep Kvoth on one town center in this position. He's got the fishing ship economy with the advantage that he did lose 2 villages, but he's got an 8 villager lead on the water. So technically 6 villages in front, though he is Egyptian economy. So he's going to be a little bit behind nonetheless, as some longboat's going to be coming through here. We'll see what Yoshii's going to be able to do as a response. If we do see over here, Yoshii's only got the 1 cabinet remaining as the units are going to be pushing across the map. There is a vision still remaining, so he can very simply cast vision and try and get some damage done as the villagers moving over onto this gold mine over here. No armory ups just yet, just the 1 barracks making some axemen here. We move over and check out Kvoth's perspective. He does send the units down onto this location to grab this town center, but one thing that he should be very, very scared of in this game is running out of this gold mine and being stuck in the classical age against Set, where things can get very, very difficult as those longboats all coming out now. They're able to push those fishing ships back as the docks have to be garrisoned in. All of the sea snakes will be getting picked off here, and the question really is going to be, does Kvoth just get the full control of the water now and can just sit underneath all of these fishing spots and take them for himself here for a while, as the Anubite does get pushed back as well? What's Yoshii thinking now? He's moving in, going to be pushing off of this hunt over here, off that wood as well. There's 5 priests here with the axe, with a very, very slow army, but there's really not that many units here for Kvoth as he's trying to get this all worked out. As Yoshii grabs this town center, he's only got 4 villagers on food at this moment. He's going to need to get a lot more going. Can take the villagers off this gold mine over here, chuck them onto these elk here as well. He doesn't have hunting dogs just yet. He should definitely consider getting that one. It's a really weird map in that the hunting dog's getting grabbed at the 10-minute mark is just a weird thing to do, because you're always grabbing it at the very start of the game. And in this situation, it's a bit difficult as the Anubite going to be getting pulled back here. The dwarves sitting on this location, and we do see that Yoshii does lose his Anubite here, as now we see the monument is up. Villagers now getting brought over onto the food. Plenty of gold in the bank here for Yoshii. He needs to decide what he's going to do here. Does he go for a whole bunch of units here and go for 4 town centers? Does he, or try and grab this town center over here, I guess would be the next port of call if he did want to go for 4, but it looks like he's grabbing the back one. 3 town centers, a bit of a boom here, going to give Kvoth a really, really big chance here to have a solid advantage moving forward. You can see all the units now out on this position. We do have the Longhouse making some raiding cavalry, grabbing his 3rd town center, and going to be in a fantastic position here as the dock trying to defend over here as best as it can. But yeah, advantage Kvoth right now on the water, so economically back in the lead. I think at this point, if you were to guess exactly where these players are sitting in this game, I think it's really, really hard to tell. But the one thing that Yoshii is going to be incredibly scared of here has to be Ragnarok coming for him in the next, I don't know, 5 to 10 minutes in this game, and this gold mine on the back potentially getting mined out, and there's really not a whole lot of other options for him. He's got this gold mine forward over here. There is a gold mine over here as the raiding cavalry are getting pulled back on this location, as now Kvoth throwing up his longhouses over here, starting to protect his town center on this position. He does. Let's check out his economy here. Does he have a whole bunch of upgrades? He does have some decent ones. Pig sticker and hunting dogs coming through for Kvoth. Let's see if Yoshi's decided to start hunting at this point. He does have his own hunting dogs here. We see an armory coming up as well. Both players 3 town centers booming away here. And we'll see what the next step here for Yoshii is going to be. As Kvoth throwing up his houses on the back, going to be pushing forward and actually taking out the enemy docks here as we see a handful of cabinets coming through. I like this play from Kvoth. Cleaning these docks up is a really, really big deal as the cabinets pulling back, going to try and take out some of these raiding cavalry, but I'm not sure that Kvoth really needs to care about maybe losing 1 raiding cavalry for a dock here, and he doesn't even lose it. He pulls back, he picks off a couple more of those longboats, but now Kvoth going to be able to advance to the next stage. He doesn't have an armory just yet as he's spent a whole bunch of resources on something, it seems. Yoshii, on the other hand, has managed to click up through Neff. He's pulling back here. He's got a whole bunch of axemen, spearmen coming out to deal with those raiding cavalry and the Ursa that are here as the barracks now starting to come up at this point as the longboats trying to push through. We do see the docks now getting targeted down even more. I love this play from Kvoth. He realizes it's a weakness here for Yoshii, but Yoshii's now coming in with some units, going to be pushing Kvoth back. And in reality, I don't think that this fish is really that important anymore. There's no town center in range. There's nothing really to be gained from this fish apart from the 8 fishing economy that you're going to be able to get from it. And in the end, you got 3 town centers. It doesn't matter that much. Just back up and just take the loss over here. We're still seeing more cabinets getting thrown to the to their deaths here, to the bottom of the sea, as Kvoth's still building some more on this location here, as Kvoth still hasn't clicked up to the next stage. Lots of villagers on gold, starting to build farms when he's got all this hunt down the bottom corner of the map. Bit strange there, but he does manage to take this fight. He will be able to pick off those units, or Yoshii does take this fight, able to pick off those units, get some really, really good trades here, and we do see a Leviathan coming out now for Yoshii. That's going to be a big help on the water, and now Yoshii, for the first time in this game, takes a score lead. He's got a very short amount of time to click Ancestors to get an advantage here, as Asgardi has been clicked up. We see a market coming down for Yoshii now. The big question is, does he go for Phoenix? Does he go for Avengers? Does he go for the Meteor? Does he go for Tornado? Does he go for Horus? Does he go for Thoth? Those are the big questions. So against Norse, Phoenix really, really strong. They can ignore the fact that this ward is here. They can fly over this. They can hit the wood line, the gold lines really, really hard. They can also see double siege works actually coming out for Yoshii as he's getting prepared to siege this location over here. If we take a look at the wood line on this position here, if Yoshii can get set up over here, he's going to have a really, really good time. But look at Kvoth's economy now. Kvoth is gearing up 100% here to go Mythic Age. He doesn't have any units over here to drop the market, but you can get an inefficient market over here. It's not so bad. We do see a market here on this location. You're going to start spamming that trade out. He's given up on the water for the time being. And Yoshii, he might be on a bit of a ticking time bomb here, as it were. He does have a whole bunch of infantry units here. But the problem is Ragnarok coming, and can he defend it? And it's always a challenging time for anyone to deal with Ragnarok, as Horus does get picked up here. Kvoth, on the other hand, doesn't have the resources to get up to the next stage just yet, but he's got tons of resources in the bank. He could sell all that wood if he wants to and buy a ton of food if he so chooses. He's got 35 villagers on wood right now, and he does do some trading there. He will be clicking up, and this is going to be a very, very scary Ragnarok to boot here. There it goes up. Balder coming through. We'll see if Yoshii's going to be able to pick the right town center here to give himself just a little bit more time. Axeman's starting to get upgrades here. Yoshii needs to realize that Ragnarok is on the table. We do see some barracks coming down the bottom of the map here. Sometimes it's worth it to just send your villagers down here on a YOLO to grab this gold mine and just hope that your opponent doesn't see it. Getting yourself just 5 to 10 villagers on a gold mine can be the difference between winning and losing against Ragnarok. So we'll see what's going to happen here is Kvoth starting to build up here. Let's check out the armor. He's getting himself the copper mail on this location over here. He's gone into full defensive mode here. Plenty of villagers out. He's still building villages on both these locations. There's fortified town centers coming through. And in the end here, we do see a huge amount of Drakkar coming in to clean this up because Kvoth wants fishing ships during his during his Ragnarok here, he should probably think about building a couple more because he's still got like 3 more fishing ships you could potentially build. As you do see the siege towers pushing through, you have to do this if your name is Yoshii here, as the Horus does get clicked, and we see Vision. Does he pick this one or does he pick this one? He picks the hometown center. Well, he doesn't know, obviously. It's kind of a 1 in 3 chance or a 1 in 2 chance at this point because he's probably going to be able to take this town center down. But there's the ancestors getting dropped onto this location over here, trying to force some sort of frost here as the villagers pulling back. But Ragnarok is here. Ragnarok will be clicked. Those ancestors, those minions are not going to be long for this world. These units over here can be very easily frosted, and that's exactly what Kvoth's going to be doing. As now, if we take a look at Yoshi's perspective, he's got himself 4, 5 barracks, but look at this gold mine over here. He does move forward. Will Kvoth notice this or not is the big question. The heroes moving straight past here, not going to be noticing this one at this point, so that's absolutely huge for Yoshii, but he's still got all this time he needs to wait for that frost to get finished. Funnily enough, it might be worth it here for Yoshii to just delete some of these units, in all honesty, because he's just giving favor away to his opponent, and I doubt he's going to be able to win this fight after all is said and done. But the heroes moving through here, we do see some of these rhinoceros set getting taken out. Yoshii, on the other hand here, very short on the resources here. His food gathering on this location, trying to do as best as he can, as we do see the fire giant moving through here. These villagers trying to throw some barracks down on this side to try and defend this one, as the Rag hero is swinging down the back. The Rag hero is pulling in on this position as well. Kvoth sitting at 304 population. Yes, a lot of that is going to be in Drakkar fishing ships over here. I don't think he's got a trade route, but 5 fishing ships is a decent amount here. As the town center going to start getting taken down, you've got to get some priests here to deal with that fire giant. There's no other real way to make that work at this point, as the town center is getting torn down on this location. The unit's pushing through incredibly hard here. Yoshi's got a mountain to climb, a huge mountain to climb, as it were, as the Axemen trying their best over here. But those heroes of Ragnarok, those are very strong. Bronze armor here, as the Axemen doing their best. We do see these chariot archers coming out to help out as well, as the units getting pushed back over here. These villagers getting left to die on that location, as well as the chariot archers trying to help out, but they're getting picked off like flies here, as the town center on this location does go down. The villagers that are in here are probably going to fall, as well as Kvoth now going to be searching for the next one. He's still got 245 population remaining. There's no guard towers here, and in that moment, Yoshii taps out. Kvoth gets the win without with his Thor. Who'd have thought it? Anyone at the top level can play any god, it would seem, as Kvoth shows Yoshii he is not to be trifled with in this series. A monster player, as Yoshii just cannot compete in the end of the day here on this map. A really, really bizarre map. Like, here's the thing. If you knew that this was a 4 fish spawn going into this map, you could go into this map with a real big game plan. Game plan being like throw villagers onto wood straight away. Try and get yourself the extra fishing ship out immediately as set, like, so you get 3-4 fishing ships out to get both 4 fishing spots at the start, and then just throw everyone onto food and get the gold to get yourself to the next age and go for like a 4-minute advance time here. But because you don't know, it's so much harder to work out what you need to do. And on this map, using vision is super worth it. Or even just sending a fishing ship forward to scout like Kvoth did. Incredibly good play here from Kvoth. He played this one like a champ. If you guys enjoyed this game, and well, I mean, it's the first game of the tournament, so I can't ask this question. I'm going to do it anyways. If you join the tournament as well, you know, hit the bloody follow button as well. I'll see you guys in the next game. Well, I've got to hit the button. All right, bye.